Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Wednesday, March the 22nd, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we come together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do create 4 main hypotheses each day. It's not because we're trying to hedge and say, hey, we called the market. It's because we're trying to create a plan with what the market can do. We're not trying to predict what the market's going to do. We're creating a plan to have in place so that we can execute on that plan once the market shows us what it's doing. And yesterday was a perfect example of that, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. This is the subscription room. If you're interested in checking out, please send an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So let's talk about yesterday, because yesterday was a trend day. It was a turnaround Tuesday, take back Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. Now, our main hypothesis was we were one time framing down. So what we're looking for on Hypo 1, and you can go and watch the video from yesterday, it's up on YouTube, was a open auction just in range or just out of range and a move up into the 79 to 80 area, find responsive sellers, and then rotate down into yesterday's Monday's VPOC, chop around there and come down and test the 65.50 with a possible push through to 62. That was Hypo 1. Now we had an alternative Hypo, okay, which was basically the same as Hypo 1, but getting a take-back day, a turnaround day, a push through down into the 54 area, chop here, and then push down into the mid of the gap zone that was in around the 46 area. And you can see, and the takeout of these two naked VPOCs here around the 46 and the 44.50. And, you know, that was Hypo, the alternative Hypo 5 that I threw in there as a possibility because of all the repair work that we had. Now, we actually rotated up from that close, and at that point in time, I was saying look for them to come down and take out that naked VPOC down here at 38. 38 was the weekly downside ATR target. Our current weekly ATR is, the 20-period weekly ATR is 40.8, and we essentially traded from our weekly high down to our weekly low and traded the full range. Our range on the RTH yesterday was 40.75. So basically we traded the weekly range in one day. And this is what happens. I mean, this is, you know, we were coiling, we were compressing, we had tight ranges. We talked about the fact that the daily full session ATR was getting below 15, and when that happens, generally you're going to get a break from balance. The auction always goes from balance to imbalance back to balance again, and we got our price discovery day and our break from balance yesterday. And now we've come down and we've come into the mid of the gap, pushed through the gap. Overnight we came down into that 32 area and we bounced off the 32 area, and now we're trading back around the 40 area. Near where we closed and right where we stole the VPOC. The VPOC kept shifting down, and we stole the VPOC into the close, and the VPOC, and the market closed. And we were looking for, when you see this happen and you get the late VPOC shift down to near the low of the day, generally you're looking for continuation in the Globex. And what did we get? We got continuation. I wish I would have traded last night because I would have shorted this. Looking for that 37 and then possibly even the 34s or 32s. So, just a good example of having, multiple hypos in place where this wasn't surprising at all. I wish I would have traded better, but I got stuck in a gold long, and it took me a lot of time. Actually, it was the ES that basically saved my bacon and made my day for me. I was able to catch some of the short and pull out close to 33 points on the ES yesterday. That saved me from that gold trade. All right, so let's just take a step back and see where we are. Oh, let's take a look at the news first. News is pretty much all going to be all about we've got existing home sales at 10, and then we've got HPI at 9, coming up in 9 minutes. Not a real big one, but just careful if you're in a trade. And then the big one will be the crude inventories at 10:30 Eastern time this morning. So, but not a lot of news on the plate. Of course, each morning I always like to start my day with a basic candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA on all my time frames. What I'm doing is I'm looking for slope and separation for the strength of the trend, where the trend is being challenged or violated, where it could be challenged, and I'm looking for any candlestick pattern. And if you watch these videos every day, the same thing. Multi-year upward trend challenged at the end of 15, beginning of 16, push back above, and then a move up. And so far in 17, we've had a run. Our open of the month is 23.6075, so this could be our first bearish month if we hold below the 60.75. We've got 7 days of trading left, in this month, and we are below the open, so we could see a bearish. And we're going to start talking about monthly critical mass next week, and the possibility of where we could end up if we get capitulation from the buyers. And there's a lot of repair work to do still. But the overall trend doesn't get challenged on the monthly until we get back into the mid 2200s. So the trend is still up on this time frame. On the weekly, we had this upward one time framing that got violated 2 weeks ago. We talked about this, and this is a possible trend change. And then we went sideways, and what happens? This week we break down and we come down to test the 9 EMA. The month or the week open is 23.7375. So we are going to be looking at critical mass on the weekly as well. It's too early to do that. It's only Wednesday, but the further down we come, the more likely we're going to hit critical mass to the downside. But we are challenging the trend. The trend is still intact, but we are challenging. So we either bounce from here, or we break and we come down and look to violate the trend with a move down towards that 2300. And that's quite possible, because we could get a trending week, because we are currently right now challenging the weekly ATR, that weekly downside ATR target of 38. We're bouncing around it. We violated it in the Globex tonight. So if we get continuation down, we're going to be looking for range expansion, which is basically a trending type environment. Going to the daily, you can see that we had that foo bar blow off top, inside bar, Mr. Sneaky creates the technical gap. We close the technical gap. We go sideways in consolidation, try to take back, get a one-tick failed auction. You can see that the high here is 87.75, and it's 1 point failed auction on the daily. I'm sorry, and then now we've had our first 3 days and the first 1% move. Going back to this was the largest one since 1995. 109 days of move without a 1% correction, and we got that correction yesterday. And now we're below the 9 and 20 and getting a possible change of trend to the downside. Going to the 4-hour, big ugly move down, okay, and we've got a trend down. We're getting consolidation. We could rotate back up. I'm looking for my main hypothesis is a move back up into the mid of the gap in that 46 area, and then failure and continuation down. I think, you know, today, if we don't start making a move early, we're likely to get consolidation sideways after this big move. But it's not without the realm of possibility that we get a continuation day today as well. So we'll talk about that when we get into our hypos. But the trend is down on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, what's going on with my paper money? Let's see if we can go right to the 30-minute. All right, the 1-hour doesn't seem to be wanting, oh, there we go. All right, so on the 1-hour, we have a strong trend down. Now, this created a bunch of naked naked crosses above. So we have a naked cross up at the 2372. We still have the unequalized high. So, I mean, you know, just because we had a take back, this is normal auction. Doesn't mean that we can't gather buyers down somewhere down here and start working our way back up. So don't get your bear hat on, you know, too tightly yet and say, okay, the market's rolled over. It made a move. It was a nice opportunity if you got in. I know, you know, some traders that I know had some really big days, including some of the traders in this room. And, you know, we've had this trend. Now we get a consolidation, and, you know, we're creating somewhat of a weak low down here in the Globex. It's not, you know, the low is 32.25, but we had a whole bunch of 33s, tests of 33s. We dipped just below it, and now we've rotated up, and we're trying to get above the 9 and the 20 right now. So this 38 area is going to be an important factor for us today on whether or not we hold and start a upward move or break and get continuation. On the 30-minute, same thing. We've got that naked cross up here at 74. We have a strong downward trend. They consolidate, and now it looks like trying to start a move up. Not really good slope and separation, but we are holding above the 9 and the 20, and likely to, you know, just work our way up towards that 46 before we see what really happens. Going to the 15-minute, you can see we moved down, created the foo bar, Mr. Sneaky, rotated up, and closed the tech gap, and started moving up. And right now we have an upward trend coming into the 15-minute, or coming into the RTH on the 15-minute. And on the 5-minute, you can see we do have a possible cup and handle, so let's just take a look at that right now, see if it's valid. There's the handle, or sorry, the rim. See if we get a decent, yeah. So we've got a validated handle. See what the extension looks like. Again, I'm just roughing this right now. The 61.8 is 23.44. Something else I want to show you. So, you know, coming into the RTH, we do have you know, consolidation going on the 5-minute, but we're holding above the 9 and the 20. What I wanted to also point out, we've got a cup and handle. And again, this is not suggesting that you should be long right now unless you have something that triggers you, but we also have a zipper measured move. So here's the impulse wave right here. Now you could argue that this is a continuation wave because we did have a impulse wave up in a zipper, and we've already hit the primary target on this smaller zipper. But we've got another one here that starts from the 36 area and up to the 41. Our primary target, look at that. basically right where the primary target of the cup and handle is where the zipper measured move is as well at the 44. So mark that down. You know, if we break above the rim of the uh, of the uh, of the cup and handle at 42, then I'd be looking for and targeting that 44. I'm actually targeting the 46, okay, which is the mid of the gap zone. You can see that the extended target of the zipper measured move is up here at 46. And what I'm talking about when I talk about that gap is bring up our flex levels. We had this gap zone right here left from February 21st gap up day, and the mid of that gap is, I thought it was 46, but I guess it's 47.75. The low of the gap is 46. So we have this gap zone. Now we've tested it from above. Generally, gap zones are tested from below, from both sides. So that's why I'm looking for a possible continuation up into this gap zone, and then retrace up to the gap zone, and then a retrace back or continuation down towards some of these targets. Now we have naked closes at 33 and 28. The 33 was tested in the Globex, but that does not count as taking out the naked close unless it's done in the RTH. And with our overnight low at 32, I'm looking for that to get moved. We did just put in a new overnight high at 42, so we're getting some challenge to the upside right now, and we're likely to take we've been doing a lot of that, taking out of the Globex higher low as we move into the RTH session. Hold on a second, I just got to manage a stop here for a second on the gold trade. Gold now hitting the 49, looking for it to hit the 50, moving my stop up to 46.9 on that one. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happened overnight. So overnight is basically neutral to negative. We opened the Globex at 41.50. We rotated all the way down to the 32, and then since Europe opened, they've rotated us up, and we just went in and put a new Globex high in at 42. We've got a VPOC shift up here at 40.50. It was down here at 35 most of the night. So here we are coming into the open right around where the VPOC shifted on the trend day down into the close. So we're back into this balance right now and likely to chop around here until we get into the open. You can see that we have this little LVN right here at 43.50 on the RTH session from yesterday, and then up here there's the 46 area, okay, which is right near that gap, and this little distribution zone that we consolidated in before we got that closing swing down into the 38. So inventory is net negative right now. So if we do get a move up above the 43, 44 area, we could get a squeeze on the overnight shorts, and they could squeeze them. And right now the key level to watch above us is going to be this 57.50, because most of the distribution, once we made the initial impulse down yesterday, is between the 57 and the 38, with the main distribution being in here. You can actually even watch this 49 area here, but we could come up and chop in this area, okay, all day. This is going to be one of my hypos. So take the overnight, get rid of this, And our overnight high right now is 42. Now that could change because we still have time coming in. It's right at the close from yesterday. The close from yesterday was 42. And our overnight low is 32.25. Our VPOC is 4050 or 4075. 4050, which is right on top of yesterday's VPOC. So we're likely to take out the naked VPOC right on the open. Probably going to get an open test drive. And that's all the information we really need. We've got this 37, but I'm going to be watching the 38. All right, so we don't need this. Expand this out. So let's talk about our levels. I'm going to be watching the 43 area, 43.50, the little LVN, 50% back of this wave down, and looking for a move and targeting that 46. You can actually go for 46.50. Our 20 period full session ATR is running at 1596. So off of the low overnight of 32.25, our upside ATR target is 48.50. Although we are getting some range expansion, so we might expand beyond this. And off of the overnight high of 42 currently, and I'm going to adjust this slightly, 26 is our daily downside ATR target. This is, so you can see we've got capabilities to expand down still on the daily ATR. In terms of levels, obviously 38. Below 38, I'm targeting 34. Actually 34.50, and I don't 34.50 and then 33.25, but we've got the overnight low there, so I really have to go down to 26, which is our daily downside ATR target. And then below that, we've got 1975 as a next big target below. 1275. And 1309. 1203.25. And then the 1201, and of course our 2300 centennial number. And then below that, it's going to be, basically down to this 86, 87 area. I'm not sure we're going to get there today. To the upside, 44, going to be watching this 49.50. The 54, targeting 51. And then a big key level, okay, our key line in the sand above, okay, is going to be that 57 area, because then we get into repair work. And there's a naked single, okay, I believe the naked single is up at 70, 68 and 72. 62 and 73.50. We have two singles that we left on the flush down. So looking for, if we get above that 57, looking for repair work to the upside. Obviously, the first key target is going to be the microcomposite VPOC at the 2360, 6350, and then targeting 67. And this takes us right back into 6750, takes us right back into this balance zone. Don't think we're going to get there today, but you never know. I've seen them take it all back the next day. That's why we create the hypothesis as we do. So in terms of our main hypo, we're going to be opening up just inside of range. The value doesn't mean anything because there's no value from yesterday. When you get a trend day, they have not found value. That's why they're in price discovery. So what I'm looking for is we have that mid of the gap. So I'm looking for an open auction in range, failure to break the 38. I'm expecting it a open test drive, a possible false breakout, but then I'm looking for a move up into this 46 to 49 area, and then chopping around here, and then finding responsive sellers, and then rotating us down to the 32 area, chop around here and push through and get continuation down towards the 25, 26 area, and closing somewhere between here. Maybe a late day probe down into the 1975. So hypo 1, open auction, open test drive, fail to break the low or a false breakout, push up into the 48 to 50 area, then finding responsive sellers, rotating us down through, chop around, push through to 32, and maybe even push through to 26 to 19. Hypo 2 is a open auction, failed breakout, rotate up, and basically, okay, have a balanced day between 57 and 32 and just chop sideways after a big move down. So basically rotational day within the main distribution of the trend, the lower distribution of the trend day, as we just balance out in this area and mature this distribution zone, okay, that centers around that 38.25 microcomposite VPOC and CHVN. My third hypo is a failure to get above the 43 and get a continuation day and get another trend day down and come down towards this 19 to 09 area and get a strong move down and push through as a continuation. That's less likely. And then hypo 4 is an open auction, just in range or just out of range, a push down, find buyers in the 32 area again, rotate us up, come up into the 54, chop around the 54, and then push through and break up and close somewhere in the smaller distribution and spend the afternoon chopping up back around that 60 area. So those are my 4 main hypotheses on ES. In terms of gold, I'm looking for gold to continue up. We broke into price discovery on gold yesterday. We broke out of this balance. We got above that 36. We talked about that yesterday. Move from break above 36 was take us up into the 40s, possibly push through to the 45, and looking for the continuation up into the 50 and possible move up into the 58. The next big destination up here is this 58 area. Currently, I am long. I'm not sure if Peter, you still long as well, but looking for that move into the 1250 area and possible continuation. Watch the 53 area. You got out at 49. Good for you. They have a little bit of resistance up here at 53. We could bounce back again, back towards balance the 2 days. Microcomposite is 45 area, but you want to watch this 48. If we get below 48, then we could get the move back into the 46, 45 area. But the key target today is the 1250 and a possible continuation up into the 53. Anything above 53, I'm targeting that 58 area. So that's what I'm looking at. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.